is Jim van der Breggen. I was born in the Netherlands but raised in New Zealand. I lived there about half my life, moved there when I was 12, came back when I was 19, 20. I started producing music when I was 18 years old. Since I moved back, I've just been evolving in that. I studied music production in my school behind here, where I'm currently finishing or just started my Master of Music. So I just finished my Bachelor of Music in Music Production, and I just started my Master of Music. The Bachelor in Music Production, we kind of get everything within the first year, so you focus on your own project, but you also get things like music business, to learn about the industry, analyze contracts, create contracts, everything you need. Yeah, I would say there is, because there you have a lot of nature, the climate's warmer, the culture is a bit different, but people tend to be more relaxed over there. Malvae comes from that it's a butterfly. I liked that a butterfly evolves from a caterpillar to a cocoon to a butterfly, and I believe that people who make music evolve their sound in the same way, so that it kind of goes in different stages and that the quality becomes better, becomes more beautiful, and yeah, that's what I really liked about it. Plus that it had less Google searches, or not many, and I like the sound of it. I would just experiment. So I have this field recorder here. It's in this case for when I go outside and it rains. For example, I go with this in the jungle and I record without the intention of the use of the sound before. So when I have made the recordings, I lay them in my production program Ableton, and I then start listening and for ideas, and then things just kind of kick in. And then for the synths, yeah, I've been using my voice recently. How that started, it was actually the very first thing when I haven't always had this one. I started with the H1, which is a really small version, so I could really kind of hide that I was recording stuff in the supermarket without anyone noticing. And like now that I have this huge thing, it's very obvious. People look at you, what's that? Is that a bomb? You know? so you kind of have to not care. So when I had that first field recorder, the first thing I actually did was try recording with my voice and make all these sounds, and I can actually show you that idea that I made.
That'd be great.
The very first thing. I still think it has potential, but every idea does. I believe it's this one. First thing I actually made with the field recorder. It was the very first thing I made. So from there on, it really just became more detailed, and better ideas, and you start thinking more creatively. Haunts Me. That was in 2017. I released that with Lost Tribe Records. I recorded all of those sounds, or most of those sounds, in Indonesia while I was there. So I made the beats out of plastic bottles and horse wagons that drove fast. Yeah, that's the one that really took off. It wasn't a track where I did everything out of the sampling, because I used a lot of synths. I didn't use my voice a lot in that, and I sampled a lot from Esther's voice. But from there, that was really the beginning for me to keep going in that direction. In a dark We actually met at school. She was doing songwriting and singing. She was studying that, and that's how we met. So we kind of decided to start working together, and things just kind of started working out. to Brazil. Yeah, I had a gig in Brazil a few years back. That's also where kind of the sampling in the world thing originated from, because I took that first field recorder with me, and when I decided to stay longer because of the gig, I was recording sounds everywhere, and like we went to this place, and there was like a toucan there who couldn't fly anymore, so he became like a pet of the area, and he was making like these vibrating sounds. Like, I need that sound. I actually have a video of that as well. Those sounds actually formed the Azul Saída EP, which I then released with Berserk Records. So that is like almost 3 years ago. Sustainability. Just make sure that you're having like you're having an impact on the environment, and as small as that may look, it's affecting the environment and animals in a huge proportion, because we're with a lot of people on this planet. That's it. Yeah, so if everybody would just like make different choices that don't have to be hard, you know, it can be as small as you want. I have a responsibility to kind of do that in my own way, and yes, it's not easy to fight a capitalistic environment or society, but you're just gonna have to do your own thing. Currently I'm making music from sounds that are recorded in one of the oldest jungles in the world, which is the Taman Negara in Malaysia. That jungle's even older than the Amazon rainforest, 130 million years old, I believe. In that jungle, there's a difference between types of jungles. So you have jungles which have been cut down and regrown, but this jungle is like still in its oldest state. It hasn't been cut down in most part. It's the last remaining spots where the Malayan tiger can be found, like the south. Yeah. But I went in that jungle with my girlfriend, and we got lost. Yeah, so we decided to go to this jungle, and they were telling us that it was all okay, like the people that work there. Yeah, it's clearly marked, you can go there, but the path that you usually take is you can't go there because there are elephants and the bridge is broken, so you have to go through the middle of the jungle. We're like, okay, there are clear signs. Yeah, there are clear signs. And what about the tigers? Yeah, there was one seen last week, but it should be okay. So we went into this jungle. We were going for a 20-kilometer hike to get to this certain cabin, which is like 4 meters above the ground, because the deeper you go, the more wildlife you would see. Yeah. And on the way, I had my recorder with me, to record all the sounds on the way, but I hardly recorded on the way there because there were land leeches. You know how you have these leeches in water that suck your blood? Well, there you have land leeches, and they jump around like this, and they're really fast, and they can sense your heat. And as a European sweating tourist in the jungle, just after it rained, they all come out, and I had to pull like 50 off my leg. And they also go through your socks, and like when you don't look for 5 seconds, they're on your toe, in your shoe, and you have to take everything off. So eventually we just like didn't care anymore, because we also ended up being lost, because I looked at my compass, and suddenly we were facing the direction where we were assumably came from. But like we had to go there, because we tried for an hour to get through, but the path just ended. Like the path can stop and continue, and like, I see a path there. So then we decided, okay, let's go back and find that other cabin we saw 2 hours ago, because we could just stay there. And then we suddenly thought like, wait, where did we come from? So we turned around, because everything either looks like a path or the same, because to distinguish an animal path or a human path that deep in the jungle, you can't. So we took a path and suddenly we went all the way up a 5,000 square kilometer place. So it's huge. You can go in for weeks. You can even climb a mountain there. Yeah. So we ended up finding our way suddenly, because if you look just 10 centimeters to the side, it can look totally different. Than we had to cross a river, and suddenly it clicked. So luckily we were able to find our way through the mud.
Thank God for that.
Yeah, and then we went to that cabin still, and we slept there. Yeah, never had such a good sleep.